Hi everyone, this is Moncef Afkir, and welcome to this new episode of Be in the Bridge podcast. So, this new episode is about learning to focus on what you want because what you focus on grows. And it can be easy to lose focus on our intentions, what we want to create, the peace, the connection that we've been deepening and having with our maybe inner child, with our true self and our center, especially when there are um, maybe word events and that triggers that, or also relationships. Um, Relationships can be very triggering at some time, like during some situations, and also when things don't go the way we want them to be. Maybe they don't show up in the timing or the way we initially desired. And it can happen that during some experiences where we feel very triggered, where old patterns or old traumas come to the surface, and it feels like we lost everything we've been building through our healing journey, and it can look like that we are starting all over again from the beginning, and it can be disappointing, and we start to judge ourselves, maybe lose hope, or feeling unworthy. So during those moments or situations, it's very important to be able to be kind, be gentle, and accepting of ourselves. And it's like, because we can easily fall into victimhood. We can blame others. We can judge the situation about how we feel about, because it feels like they took our peace, they took our joy, or the flow that we created in our life. And because it takes time to build a new momentum and having it running. And when something triggers us, um, how to say, we can, like I said, we can easily fall into victimhood and blaming others for what happened. And also the ego doesn't like, in general, the idea that we always have the choice about how we react to others. And for me, like, the reason for that is that, especially during these times, we are healing lots of traumas, old patterns, maybe things that we inherited from our lineage, and everything is coming to the surface at the same time and feels overwhelming. So when there is some intense, like, pain or experience, and when we tell ourselves that we have the choice, it can be challenging during that time to accept that. So for me, is how I see it is to honor the pace that we are going through our healing journey and where we are in our journey. It's not about judging that we feel victim, or that we judge others, we blame others. It's more about bringing love and understanding to ourselves through that process. Understanding, like, that this experience can be challenging, and maybe just remind ourselves that we are doing the best we can. It's like having this relationship with our inner child, like when it falls into victimhood, or giving away their power or losing hope. It's like holding their hand lovingly and trying, like, slowly at their own pace to help them to stand again, not forcing it, not rushing it. It's more about a gentle support. And when we are able to, like with time, with practice, we are able to hold the space for our inner child, like we allow that expression that they are having, and then little by little, like when we feel it's the right timing, then we bring the idea that we have the choice. We are creator of our experience. Like we are divine creators and sovereign creators, and those people or situations that come to our experience or reality, like in the end, they are opportunities that direct us toward our true self and our wholeness, to embrace our sovereignty. And yeah, so just it's so here I'm not saying that like the situations or people who trigger us, that they are right, the behavior is acceptable. It's more about us to learn how to focus on what honors us, what we want to create, the timeline we want to strengthen and create in our life. And the choices can be sometimes saying no to situations that don't honor us, like being able to walk away from things that don't serve us, create healthy boundaries, and also rewarding ourselves for like everything we've been doing to love ourselves more, because that is very important to build that loving, accepting, and honoring relationship between us and our inner self or our inner child. So I will stay silent for a moment. So just take a deep breath. And another point is that as empath, it can be also easy because we are feeling like we are picking up others' feelings and emotions, and so sometimes we tend to help them without them asking for help, or we try to save others, especially for those who, if they are in a point in their journey where they don't want to do their inner work. So it's, for me, it's not our responsibility to do that for them. It's more about honoring their choice. Yeah, be an example. Then, like in the end, they have their choices to make, and we also have our own choices to make. And with experiences, with time, when we are at a point where we really are accepting like of ourselves, every part of ourselves, also those parts that we've been feeling shameful or we've been hiding, and we feel more love toward ourselves, then also we become less judgmental toward others. Like if they behave in a certain way, instead of blaming them, we understand from where they come from. They also have their own traumas, like ourselves. We have our own traumas, and it can be a very challenging journey. So it's more about finding balance, having the understanding, the compassion, but also at the same time creating boundaries and allowing others to be responsible of their own path. Yeah, so relationships can be sometimes very triggering, but also can help us really um, awaken to our like true power, true divinity, like in a faster way. And on the show Your Divine Uniqueness, we talked recently about that with Sarah Ellingworth. If you want to um, maybe go deeper into that subject, I highly recommend to watch that. I will put the YouTube link for that, because we really had very inspiring discussion about this subject, which really brings a lot of relief and lots of love toward ourselves and others. So in the end, when we change our perspective about triggers and seeing them as opportunities, like with practice, with time, with experiences, it really helps us to focus more easily on what we really want, what we want to create, and walk away from what doesn't serve us anymore, and then focusing on that new momentum that we are creating, because what we focus on grows. And yeah, that was the message for today. I hope it serves you. And yeah, I would love to hear your feedback. You can type it on the comments. So yeah, thank you, and see you on the next episode.